Welcome to 20 at 10 with Nat. I'm your host, Natalie. My special guest tonight is Dave Scher. Dave is local here in Austin. He's a musician, artist, multi instrumentalist, and one thing he did right before the world shut down is played a North American tour with Eric Johnson as his guitar player, multi instrumentalist. I always ask my guests, is there something you want me to brag on about you? And I'm always interested to see what things people are excited about. So I'm very excited to have him on as my guest. Please welcome Dave Scher.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Natalie. Thanks for
Hello.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for being my guest. I'm going to add our names at the bottom and just point out these are, Dave has his Venmo up here, and I have my Instagram and Venmo account as well. Thanks everyone for joining us. And also, we already have some comments. Corey, Joanna, go ahead and wherever you're tuning in from, drop your city. I know we have a lot of people hanging out in Austin. And feel free to comment throughout. We can see the comments and we can interact with them.
Yeah.
So we love questions and friendly banter, as it
Yeah.
were.
And just hellos.
Hellos, we're not alone in this world,
That's
in
right.
this dark digital world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I always do a gentle, a light Google search on all of my guests to see what I can find about them. And I
See
was
what
reading.
dirt you can dig up.
I'm not mean. I hope I'm not mean. People don't think I'm mean. But I was reading a little bit about you, and it sounds like you've been playing guitar for a long time, since you were 10. And
Yes.
I'm curious for you, what was it that made you just reach for that instrument? Like, when did you pick up a guitar for the first time? Like, what was it about that? Do you remember that moment?
I think I do. I mean, I remember picking up a guitar and not knowing how to play it and making noise.
Yeah.
That's not exactly what made me want to play guitar. I thought it was a cool looking thing to hold, and I'd seen it on TV.
Was there
But
any particular person or band or thing you saw that you were like,
yeah,
yes?
I got into music early and started on piano.
Okay.
And I showed some promise on piano, and I was I wanted to know more than just like Suzuki etudes and classical music, and my teacher got me a songbook of the Eagles' greatest hits. And
Okay.
that was my first
Smooth move teacher.
yeah, that was my first band obsession. Rock band
Okay.
obsession was the Eagles. And when I saw a video of them from the Hell Freezes Over tour, I saw five guitars on stage. I saw Les Pauls, I saw Dan Electros, some Strats, I saw classical guitars. I saw all five of them strumming acoustic guitars, and all their right hands looked like synchronized swimming. They were all going up and down at the same time. I thought, what a cool instrument, what a cool thing. And then I saw Jimi Hendrix, and I didn't really know what to do, and or how to I mean, I reacted in a way where I was just like drawn to the guitar, and I begged my parents for one, and
Ah.
they gave me one when I was 10.
What kind of was it? Acoustic, electric? Like, what kind of guitar was it?
I started playing on my dad's, well, actually my aunt's, that passed passed the guitar over to. She's still around, but she passed the guitar over to my mom, and it was in the house, classical guitar. But I didn't know a whole. I didn't learn much on. I think I learned E and C, and then I got when I got my guitar for my 10th birthday, they got me a little miniature Strat, little miniature Stratocaster made by a company called Lotus, and I've still got it somewhere. And
The
my
guitar was a Lotus.
hmm
That was your first guitar?
that was my first guitar.
My first guitar was a Lotus.
Really?
Yes.
Was it miniature?
No, it was a big, giant,
Full size.
yeah, like
Wow.
acoustic guitar.
Okay, cool.
I
Yeah,
don't know
it
where
was.
it came from. My grandma passed it on to me or
Okay.
got it for me.
Yeah.
Probably for my birthday. We have a lot of friends tuning in. Kent's here, Laura, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hey
Hey,
everyone.
Joanna.
Thanks for hanging out. Joanna also was given an acoustic guitar. Oh, I can throw that comment up there.
Look at that. For a month.
Yep. I mean,
Well-
I get it, especially if it's acoustic and the tension's real bad and it just feels like you're going to slice your finger playing those strings, playing a D chord. Man. Coondog's here from Florida.
Yeah.
There
you go.
Well, very interesting. Okay, so kind of along those lines, a thing I like to ask all of my guests is, what's your earliest memory of like hearing a song or seeing a performance and just being like awestruck and like, what is this? I love this. I need this.
It was on TV.
Okay.
It was Austin City Limits.
Okay, who was playing?
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay.
And it was the special that they used to always show, where they'd play probably 3 or 4 songs from like 1983, and he's wearing this blue kimono.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of has this Hendrix-esque looking style to him, and then they just switch over to play 3 or 5 songs from 1989, probably 10 months or so before he passed, and
Wow.
And he was he was cleaner cut, he was clean, he was sober, he was a different player, and it was interesting that they broadcasted it that way. Not broadcasted it, but showed it, not live, but showed that in that way, where it was those 2 performances. That was a repeat that they would put on a lot, and I watched that for the first time when I was, I probably watched it in 95, 96, so like 10, when I started playing, or started loving the guitar before I even played, and that performance definitely made my jaw drop, and just, I didn't know that could be. I never heard those sounds before, let alone that music. You know.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I have lots of comments coming in. Jack's a fan.
Jack McCabe.
Saw
Oh,
you
I miss
playing
Strange
recently.
Brew.
Yes, Kent.
Oh, that was a great show.
How was touring?
How was it touring? It was awesome. It was a dream come true. Sound check was 4 hours, probably. Every day. But, I mean, that's a respectable thing, too. You know, he's meticulous about his sound. Before the band would come in and sound check for 3 hours or so, Eric would come into the venue earlier than that, an hour and a half earlier than that, and just play through his rig, and he'd ask the sound guy to turn the PA off. He just wanted to hear his amp in the room, and he would turn his knobs. A lot of, like, what I would do if I'm, say, not just a guitar amplifier, but maybe doing a mix, I write down where I last had this knob, you know, or something, like I tape it and like make a little mark, and that's my saving it. And or maybe I take a picture of my amplifier. I liked it on the way it sounded that day. But he turns his knob. You would think he'd be doing that, but the thing is, he just hears it in a different room each day, and he cares about how it's going to be in that room. He kind of treats the room as a instrument in a way.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Really interesting. It was amazing touring with Eric, and it was pinch me moments throughout the whole tour. I couldn't
How
believe
long
I was there.
were those sets generally?
Generally, they were 120 minutes.
Okay.
2 hours, 2:15 sometimes. Yeah, and they would play. We would have an off day once every 15 days. So over 2 weeks in a row, different cities. And I'm like, you know, Eric's 67, Tom and Roscoe are 65, 67, around there. And I'm 33 at the time, and I'm just going
That's
and they're all,
amazing.
yeah, and Roscoe's like, you know, got to keep up. Come on, let's go. And
That's
they're all
amazing.
just road dogging it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, kind of going back to a couple of these questions, when did you know that you were going to be a musician? Like,
It was probably that Stevie Ray video.
okay.
I
You're
mean,
like, that's what I'm going to do.
yeah, I knew that I didn't know how to play yet, but something about it felt like achievable. Not necessarily what Stevie was doing, just that these really cool sounds could be made with an instrument, and I wanted to make those similar kind of sounds for the rest of my life.
Okay.
You know.
When did you write your first song, and why?
Thanks, Joanna. Like this
Why
shirt?
write?
Oh, I was 14, 12 or 13. I wrote my first song. Every now and then, if I'm playing a bar, and when I was playing in bars,
When
and
that was a
no,
thing.
yeah, and when I saw that no one was listening or was there, I'd play that song still. I would
Oh,
still
still
play
you
that.
play it?
Yeah.
I ask people often. I'll say, when did you write your first song, and do you ever still play it?" And
Hmm.
most people are like, "No, I don't even remember it."
I don't like it,
Okay.
but I mean I don't like the words, but I think it's a pretty cool little rock song. And I like to play guitar.
Have you ever thought about revising it, bringing it back,
Yeah,
like
I
revising
mean,
the words?
no, I've never really thought about that. I've kind of thought about rearranging it in a way be that would distract the listener from the words.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know if you do that, because I'm curious. Because I remember, well, the first song that I felt very moved to write. I remember that. I was like maybe 7th or 8th grade. And they're just not mature lyrics. Like, the idea I think is good, and I think like the melody, and it could translate really well into a rock song actually, but it would need to be like the writing, like the words, the story would need to be revised.
Yeah.
But I've thought about doing that. I think that'd be really interesting.
That is a really cool challenge. I never thought about doing that to that song. But now you're giving me ideas.
I mean, especially if like you have trouble, if you're at all stuck somewhere else, like at least you already know the song, and you know you like the music of it, you know?
Right.
Like,
And
and
I
if
do.
you know you don't like the words, you could change those.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not like on an album anywhere. People aren't asking you to play it, right?
People aren't asking me to play it. No. It is on an album. It's not on.
Oh, it is on an album.
Yeah, it's actually I made a CD in 2007. I
Okay.
think.
Was this
And
like
it's-
college?
Yeah, I was in college, and I didn't put it on. Well, I don't think it was around. I didn't put it on Spotify, but it is on Pandora, maybe. Well, I think it's on. Well, it's not called iTunes anymore. What is it? Apple Music.
Yeah,
I think it's on
Music.
Apple Music, and it's under. It's when I would be. It's when I would be go as David Scher. This is very.
Oh.
This is information that I don't tell anyone. So
I
there's
think someone is paying attention, and she wants to ask you to play this song someday.
Well, yeah. When the world opens back up, come to the show and request it, and I'll consider playing it.
All right, perfect. I definitely want to know if you end up revising it, because I think that the revisiting of a song is interesting, because I think it's also interesting what that first inspiration that grabs us, you know, as artists. I think that is really interesting and like really pure in a way, you know, and it's like that idea of like, you know what you wanted to say, but now you actually have the life experience maybe to say it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I do like the premise of what I was writing about. I just didn't know how to at
Yeah.
the time.
Same. I just put words around it, and they weren't the right words.
Right.
Well, this is kind of a little bit of a different question. What's one of your lesser known superpowers? Like, or or a secret weapon, like something you're good at that people probably don't know about?
That is, I mean, I'm good at a few pointless things.
Any you care to share?
I don't know. I mean,
Share.
like I could if I could say that I'm really good at making a sandwich, then that's not pointless. But what I'm really good at, I'd say, it is actually point. You can't do anything with this skill. Uh, on the on the road throughout my day running errands, I can pretty much look at any car on the road and know the make, model, and year of it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd be like somebody's lifeline on whatever game show. Like you're gonna know that random thing.
Yeah, that might work. That might be there.
Are you good randomly at trivia? Like, are you the guy like people need you on their team?
It's got to be real specific.
Like cars.
I guess, yeah, yeah, cars and but not like, auto mechanics. Just
Okay.
show a picture. What year is this?
That's, I mean,
It's a weird
not a thing I can
superpower.
do. It's definitely not a thing I can do.
But I am good at making a good sandwich.
I'm trying to think like when that would save the day. It probably would be if you were ever reporting a crime and you just caught a glimpse of that vehicle and you're like, I only caught maybe the first letter of that license plate, but I can tell you the year, make, and model of that car.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I'm not good at plates. Joanna, did you listen to Car Talk? I used to listen to Car Talk all the time on the radio. Click and Clack. That was the best show. That was the most hilarious. It was a talk show, and people would call in and say, I have a 92, Santa Fe, Hyundai Santa Fe, and it does, and they would describe their problem, and it would be like,
Makes this sound, and then they try and make the sound.
oh yeah, they'd try and make this sound, and then be like, oh, I know what you need, and they always knew. They
That's
never
so
got
funny.
stumped.
Wow.
It was such a cool show, and they were brothers, the two of them. Click
Coon
and
Dog
Clack.
has a question over here. Do you have an analog home studio setup? He's looking
Yeah.
at the board.
Yeah, this is an analog board from 79 or 80, something like that. It's a Yamaha.
That's a choice. Why did you make that choice?
It was available. I mean, I think if I bought more brand new things and I was the first owner of more things, I would probably have more conscious decisions on brand or something like that. Actually, I mean, I like all Yamaha stuff. Everything from consoles, drum sets, to motorcycles. I mean, they make everything.
There you
I love this board. But a lot of times I just kind of put my mail on it,
Yeah. Nice.
and because,
Because you can.
if you can, most of the time.
What drew you to blues?
The honesty of it.
Okay.
It was,
Okay.
it's just, there's no bull. There's no bull in blues. It's all right there. It's got so much attitude and depth. Because you have to create such depth and color in playing blues with the roadmap you're given, the blueprints. They're so simple, I think it's pretty incredible when a jazz musician can find depth and meaning in a complicated tune. I don't really care if it's complicated, but if it is, like if they're playing it in a way where it touches you, fine, great, I love it. Blues, you have far, almost like it's almost like there's no rules, even though the rules are they're like really narrow, what do you call the things on the bowling alley when you suck
Lanes?
at bowling?
Oh,
Rails.
guardrails?
Yeah. They're like really narrow. There's not a whole lot to it. So what you have to work with, some blues masters they say the most, with their lyrics or with their playing, the most honest phrases and most touching stuff. I dig it. And it's the root of so much music too.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Thanks.
You've played with a number of bands and projects in your journey. Looking back, maybe I can ask this a couple ways. What are some of the tools you've picked up from some of those other seasons and projects, or like what are some of the most important lessons you've learned along the way, and like can you pinpoint where you picked up that tip or knowledge? Does that
From
make
playing
sense?
with a lot of bands.
Yeah, like is there, can you like, well, I do this one thing the way that I do it because of that tour with that band or something. Like are there
Mm-hmm.
things like that that are interesting to you?
Well, what's funny is before this Eric Johnson thing, I didn't do any touring, so I'm as local of a musician as it gets. I did so many gigs where you walk in to the venue and you don't know the band,
Right.
but you knew the tunes because they were Dropboxed to you or something. Hopefully,
Right.
you knew the
Okay.
tunes.
Okay. I mean,
Hopefully, you did your homework, and and you know, I always did my homework, and I always kind of leaned on a crutch. I have a really good ear,
mm-hmm,
and I'll pick up a lot of things on the gig,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of those things I pick up, I've learned to look for patterns.
Right.
You know, so sometimes the first verse and the first chorus, I'm not going to be playing all that much.
Right.
I'm just going to be listening and making mental notes. Second verse comes in, I know the song. You know,
Cool.
I'm in it. So that's like a tool that I've used.
I mean, it sounds like you're listening to the song, which is what everybody wants when they're
Yeah.
hiring you. So that's brilliant. I mean,
I hope that's
it's working smarter, not harder, I feel like, right?
right. I mean, there's stuff where I do have to, you know, do my homework and because, you know, I'll say like, okay, well, yeah, we'll agree on like a rate or something, and I'll be like, yeah, that's cool with me. I just as long as I can't do that price like and a rehearsal. I can see you guys at the gig and I'll be prepared. So then I'm like, okay, well then we'll send you the tunes and hopefully you'll be prepared. So most of the time I am. And
Awesome.
if I'm not, I use my ears and hope they call me back
Wow. I mean, that makes sense.
to an
Well,
extent.
what about, so I have like just a couple questions left
Yeah.
also. What about the process of making music? So whether that's conception, writing, arranging, creating, to recording, to playing live, to teaching, whatever aspect of the world of making music and sharing it, like what part of music brings you the most joy?
It's kind of funny because I think the part that brings me the most joy is I there's like other parts that I want to feel more joy from, but not, you know, I don't want to say sadly, but sadly I say I feel the most joy from arranging, producing, putting together someone else's music.
Why is that sad?
Well, because I don't write much anymore, and I have some fans. I have some diehard fans, and they come to my shows and they have heard the same songs. You know, like I think my newest tune, besides the fact that it's not even released, is 6 years old. You know, I want to get. I'm going to be making it a point to get back into writing, but right now I find the most joy out of crafting something out of an already skeleton. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
I mean, so the thing is, like, I mean, you can, I get what you're saying, like, sadly, but also that itself is a gift and a skill that not necessarily everyone has or can do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily the thing that brings me joy. And
Yeah.
so, like, leaning into that thing that you're good at that brings you joy, like, that's great that you recognize it, and also great that you're doing it, you know? Like, it doesn't, if just to encourage you, like,
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
not at all. Because
But I
then
do
people
want to
like
write
me
more.
will lean into people like you who are good at that, and it brings them joy. Like, then you create a
Mm-hmm.
team around it, you know?
Yeah.
Someone asked a question. Oh, Joanna wants to know how you got the Eric Johnson gig.
good question. Eric and I both work with the same photographer and graphic designer,
Okay.
Max Crace. He's brilliant. He's been around for a while, and he used to be a musician too. He used to play drums with a guitar player in town named Van Wilkes. But that's what he does primarily these days, is graphic design. And I think since Eric Johnson's Grammy album, which was Avia Musicom, I think that was 92, 91, 92. From then until now, Max has done all of Eric's album artwork.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of his, show posters and merch designs, T-shirt designs, and everything. All his photography, and I've worked with him a lot too. He did my album artwork on Porch Talk, that's on Spotify. He did my album artwork on this live album that is not on Spotify. It is just a hard copy CD, and I think Eric wanted to. He's been playing for years as a trio, and he wanted to do a quartet tour, and he was talking with Max, and Max said, "Why don't you call Dave? He knows like 9 instruments, and
Awesome.
probably knows your songs already." But
Amazing.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. That's
Nah.
awesome. And just goes to show like how much of this business is relationships.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that was a cool little intertwining way of meeting Eric. I had known Eric before, but he had gotten the idea to play with me after Max talked to him, so he came out to a Saxon show where I was playing with my trio.
Nice.
And as soon as he walked in, I was like,
Oh, you saw him.
yeah, I saw him, and I thought, okay, we got to be on. And then we were on.
No pressure.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was way cool.
That's cool. Well, congrats.
Yeah.
Last question from me. If you could give Dave from 10 years ago a couple pieces of advice, what would you tell him?
That's good. That's a good one. Keep writing.
All right.
Get into all the other stuff that you're going to get into, but don't stop writing. It's not like a regret. I feel like I'm everything happens for a reason, and I'm ready to start writing again, and I'm excited about it. But I wish that I'd kept it up. So I would say that. I'd say keep getting into what you're about to get into, and there's no regrets there. Just also keep writing every day, every week at least.
Awesome. All right.
Thanks,
Now,
Kate.
now for the pop questions. Yeah, I can throw this little comment up here. Awesome. Thanks, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish?
I have not,
Okay.
but I pet a Portuguese man of war one time, like a big old jellyfish, but it was on the beach.
It was on the beach.
So I think it was dead.
Okay.
Felt like jelly.
Ugh, I'd be too scared. Okay,
Mhm.
have you ever forgotten your lines?
Yes,
Anything noteworthy?
like in my songs, Yeah.
However you want to...
just lines, just like yeah, and just talking even every day. In my songs, I forget my lines all the time, more so than I do in covers when I play
Okay.
covers. Yeah.
Interesting. Any particular incident worth sharing? Anything memorable? Like a moment that was maybe embarrassing or whatever?
I don't even. Yeah. See, I was gonna give an example, but I can't think of the line.
It's okay.
I
No
know which
worries.
line it is, but I don't know what the word is. I don't want. Yeah, I think I said. One of my tunes says, "I don't want to be apart again." Like a part, not
Right.
torn apart. Like I don't want to be a part of it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I I was playing it at Friend's Bar on 6th Street, and this guy walked in wearing a cardigan. And I said, I don't want to wear a cardigan.
That's an amazing ad-lib, though.
And it was genuinely an accident.
Did
because
anyone catch it? That's pretty, would
Oh,
sound
yeah,
pretty similar.
my band caught it, and I think the guy caught it because it was a friend of mine that walked in.
That's just like so, like the awareness of the name of a piece of clothing that's not like when someone walks in.
But
I
I heard that in my head.
But I don't
heard,
think cardigan.
That's a cardigan.
That's really funny. That's awesome.
That's
and
pretty
it
funny.
like it fits in like syllabically.
Yeah.
It fits.
Yeah, the phrase was
Wow.
there.
Wow, that's really great.
And it,
You could probably write parodies really well.
I've written a few parodies, actually.
Have you ever played them live?
No, they've always been... no, I've played them at, like, parties.
Okay. I was
No.
like, you gotta share those. Like, you're probably really good at it.
I think so.
All right.
bad.
Do you have a question for me?
Yes. I mean, it's like a two-parter.
Okay.
So, I've actually only heard your music as far as during our sound check
Oh, okay.
just now. So, do you play with, or pre-COVID, did you play with a band?
I did on special occasions.
Okay.
A lot of what I've done recently has been solo. And it
Mhm.
seems like it might be that way for a while, but yes, I've played with a band. I really enjoy it.
Well, did you ever, whenever you were trying to explain what you wanted, like, the drummer to play, instead of explaining it or even beatboxing it to them, did you ever say, "Here, just get up. Let me show you what I mean"?
Never.
No? Have you
Do
sat
you do
down and did? No. No,
That seems like it'd be really insulting.
I know. That's why I wanted to know if you do it.
people do that to you?
They don't take my instrument, no. But another guitar player that I'm backing up will do that, and that's fine. I don't mind it. I don't think a drummer should mind if you be like, "Hey, let me just see," as long as you're not bashing. But have you sat behind a drum kit before?
I have, but not very often, and just for a few moments. Like, not really spent time behind a drum kit. It's been
Was-
really an interesting idea, though.
Was it ever thrilling when you were?
I think there were other people around, so I just felt really, like, insecure about it.
Yeah,
So, not, like, it's intriguing to me, but
yeah.
I also get, like, really intrigued by, like, stomp routines and stuff, and, like, making sounds with your hands and body.
Yeah. That's cool.
So-
That's very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a lot of questions, sorry, but they were all
Oh.
related.
it's all right. Okay, I will make myself answer the pop questions.
All right.
Have I ever pretended to not have my wallet to get out of paying? You know, I haven't pretended. I just actually haven't had my wallet. And one year it happened.
Sure.
One year it happened, like, within a span of a week, it happened twice.
Mhm.
And it was so embarrassing. One time was on a date. That was the more embarrassing. The other time, both of them were embarrassing. I was taking my friend out for her birthday. And she was older than me too. Like, she's like a mom, and, like, you know, I'm just like just out of college kid, and like, let me take you out for your birthday. And
That's
then,
like more embarrassing than a date.
oh yeah,
I
they're
think.
both real embarrassing. But they just both happened like close to each other. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, and I lived like 45 minutes outside of town. It wasn't like I could just run home real quick and like
Right.
whatever. Yeah, that was real embarrassing. So now I'm like, I don't like to carry purses. I don't like to carry a lot of stuff with me. So I get as like the smallest, slimmest,
Clutch.
even just like business card size. Where is it?
Oh, yeah.
I have it like that I can keep in a pocket, even a girl pocket. Like that's what. But I always
Do you always have your phone on you?
I try.
There's those cases that you put
I
the
don't
card
like
in.
that because people, I feel like phones are a target. You know, I'm like, I can't lose everything.
You know, I actually we used to play on Thursday nights for 5 years at the Four Seasons Hotel, and there was someone that worked there, this server, and she was dating the guy who came up with that idea.
Oh, the putting the thing on your back of your phone.
Yeah, the phone case that
It's really
has
smart.
slits in it.
But
Yeah,
like phones right now are really big. I think they're going smaller again, but like it
yeah,
just that's a lot in your pocket already.
it is.
Anyways. No, I just try and keep the essentials, wallet, phone, chapstick. I'm good.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah.
oh, I guess car keys.
Hmm.
Are you going to play a song? Would you like to play a song for us? Are you going to play?
Yeah, I'll play a song.
And I forgot to ask you this in sound check. Would you like to have this entire screen to yourself, or would you like me to hang out with you on screen? Totally up to you.
I think it's up
I'll
to
do
you.
whatever you I've had it both ways. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'll do whatever you do. So, like, do you like having someone react, or is that extra pressure?
Well, normally I do, but I've gotten so used to live streaming
Well, I
and
can
playing
disappear.
playing
be
a song
down.
and not hearing any applause. So
You
that
can see
makes
me
me
at the
comfortable.
bottom. You can see me at the bottom. I'll be like moving
Okay,
around,
cool.
but you won't be able to hear me.
Tell you what, Joanna, you pick a song. I haven't seen you in a long time, and I'll
While
play.
y'all are deciding on a song, I'm gonna drop Dave's links into the comments, his Facebook and Instagram,
Do it.
so that you all have it. You can all go follow him there. I followed him there. Well, did it post? All right, great.
All right.
And
right.
then I'm gonna take myself off the screen now.
Okie doke. One of mine. Okay, you got it. You got it, Joanne.
Only way to save yourself from a street palm reading, feeling what you felt, is to say no thanks, I'm doing just fine. Got a heart of gold in this cold, cold mine. I could walk these streets in a grinning kind of way, tell you everything that you need to know to get through the day. But I'd rather sit there next to this old man. At least he's seen it all and still does what he can. I just won't pick up the phone. Sure enough way to be alone. No one's gonna let on a one-way street romance. You've gone through life when he told me once before, can't let somebody in behind closed doors. I said thanks, I'm doing just fine. Said it's nothing new, I know what to do when I'm in that bind. It's not much of a joke, but still he laughed. He shook his head and he walked away, but not too fast. There's a saying always want more, but I think I might have tried to write that one before. Yeah. Oh, I just won't pick up the phone. Sure enough way to be alone. Someone's gotta let her know she never had a chance on a one-way street romance. I just wanna go back home. I'm tired of feeling so alone. I used to do this on my own. Back when we were dance, we wouldn't dance. Maybe I'll pick up the phone. The short enough way to be someone. Now I've gotta let her know she always had a chance on a two-way street romance.
Yes, that was so lovely.
Thank you. Fun times.
So you were saying there was the contrast, right? A one-way street romance and a two-way street
Yeah.
romance? Okay, just making
It's
sure I
called
got it.
One Way Street Romance,
Okay,
and at the end, it's Two-Way Street.
amazing. So many. Everyone
Thanks,
else
y'all.
agrees. Everyone says
Says so much. I
says
love
so
it.
much. Really into it. Yes.
Love it.
All the claps. Well, I'm seeing if your song is inspiring a different song instead.
Did you have something planned and then I screwed it up?
Kind of. It's like, your song is a love song, felt like. This is like the ugly side of love, I guess.
Mhm.
Or the ugly side of attraction, maybe. I'll play it. It's called Done. It's a pretty new one. All right. Would you like? I'll
You
take
can
you out.
you can make me small if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
All right. This is called Done. Well, I think I'll take up smoking. Never have before. To keep my fingers busy and my body off the floor. You had me at your silhouette, you in your hat and hair. And when I saw you in the light, I had to get some air. What have you done to me? Done, done to me. Done, done, done to me. Well, lately I've been hungry, but I can't seem to stomach food, because you make me so damn nervous. It's the strangest truth. I wrote that script out in my head, the one where we were friends, and somehow it made sense to me, but I couldn't read the end. What have you done to me? Done, done to me. Done, done, done to me. What have you done to me? Done, done to me. Done, done, done to me. Can you think that I'm a robot programmed from my youth? That I don't make my choices or consider other views? And the truth is, and the truth is, and the truth is that I got a little drunk last night and lost all of my clothes, and woke up with you on my mind. I'll never let you know. What have you done to me? Done, done to me. Done to me. Done, done to me. What have you done to me? Done, done to me. Done, done, done to me. What have you done to me? Done, done to me. Done, done, done to me. What have you done to me? Done, done to me. I'm done, 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 done. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Wonderful. That
Thank
was
you.
wonderful. That was a
Thank you.
beautiful song.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Yes, Joanna, what indeed? Thanks, Laura.
It is. It's so honest.
Thank you.
I love that you are singing and playing into one mic, and it sounds perfect. I don't just mean quality wise. I mean it's like an appropriate sonic. You know, I like my own songs, but I went through a few effects and hid my thing. I've found ways to hide things, and the way that you lay yourself out like that, so vulnerable, is so cool.
Thank you.
And
I
it's
appreciate it.
a great sound. I love it. Great
Thanks.
song.
Well, I feel like as it is in these times, I am finding the simplest, best sounding way to do a thing. And I've gotten real complicated, and the playing through one mic has worked out best for whatever reason so far.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Joanna. And thank you, Dave, for hanging out with me tonight. I really enjoyed it.
It's
And,
my pleasure.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Is there anything else that I need to drop in the comments again or announce? You have a show or a digital thing coming up you would like people to know about?
Keep an eye out on my Facebook, which is facebook.com/Dave Scher Music, or if you follow my personal, I'm gonna do a stream soon.
Okay.
Everybody's been egging me on to do it, and they've heard. And Joanna, thanks for the compliment earlier about the sound production that I've been doing for Beetroot Revival and Andrea McGee, and but they're like, well, you make everything else sound so good. You should make yourself sound good. You should do a stream. And I haven't been doing any streams, like hardly at all. I think the entire time of COVID, I've done 3
Yeah.
or something like that. So I've decided to do another one, and I don't know when that's gonna be, but I'll make an announcement. So
I dropped
keep an
everything
eye
in the
out.
comments, but let me drop them again. And then you can see on our screen, my handle is my Instagram, but it's also my Facebook. It's my Venmo. And then also Dave has his Venmo up. If you feel so led, please.
And you
give.
probably shared my IG and stuff, right?
I did. I'm sharing right now again.
Yay!
Facebook and Instagram.
Check me out.
Yeah, and say hi. Be generous with the likes. And everybody, stay safe and
Please.
sane. Hang in there. Vaccines are getting out.
I
and-
think the what has kept me sane through all this is knowing that it's not forever.
It's not forever. That's
No.
true. This too shall pass.
That's right. Natalie, thanks for having me. Really.
Dave, thank you so much for being my guest. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We're going to end the broadcast now, but definitely check out Dave online, and I'll see you next Monday with another amazing guest.